Hello everybody and welcome to Walk the Talk. My name is Dimi Ramila for those of you who don't know me. If you are new here, hello and welcome, and I hope you do stay. If you're an oldie, hello and welcome back. Sure, it has been a very long while, but do note I am very happy to be back. Today on Walk the Talk, seeing that October is Mental Health Awareness Month, we are going to be speaking about mental health awareness. And today I'm not alone, I'm with Bestie Babe.
Hi guys,
Who are you?
Elastic Soul Shaker.
No, that's your stage name.
Okay, Marasi Litswana.
And yeah, today we are just going to be speaking about dealing with mental health in a relationship as a couple who both have been diagnosed with mental illnesses. So without wasting any time, let's get straight into this one. Okay, so first things first, right, babe? We are just going to get into our diagnosis. So my diagnosis was clinical depression, and I was diagnosed last year, which was 2020, during the lockdown, the first few months of lockdown. I think I've shared this. If you want to hear the rest of the story, you can check out my video. I will link it in the description box. And what was your diagnosis? What is your diagnosis?
Yeah, well, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And so what is it like to be living with a bipolar disorder?
Man, I've gotten used to it, you know, like to me now it's normal. But at first it was difficult, you know, having to acknowledge that you're gonna live with this thing for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to take in, but as you get used to it, it becomes normal.
It becomes part of you.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say like living with depression has been tricky. You know, it's been like a roller coaster because it's new to me. And it's new for me to be learning the information I'm learning, to be dealing with the things that I deal with as a person who lives with depression.
Yeah.
And I would have to ask you this: what has been the most difficult thing about your illness?
I can say it's the medication. Like having to acknowledge that you're gonna take medication for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Remember, growing up, you were not taking any medication.
Of course.
So now you're gonna start taking meds at this certain time. So getting used to that, it's kind of frustrating, you know. So I can say adjusting to medication was like tricky for me.
Yeah.
But now it's a normal thing. I take my meds every day at a certain time, and it's a normal thing.
Yeah. And I will just say, like, for me, the most difficult thing was the diagnosis itself, because I was just like, what is this? Like, knowing that I'm living with depression, because I don't want to say that I have it, I'm living with it, and knowing that was one of the most difficult things for me. Like, it was so big. I was just in denial. Like, I didn't want to accept that this is real, this is happening. So it made things difficult for me. And I have to agree with you on the medication part, because I was just like, does this mean I have to take medication for the rest of my life? With me, I don't know really, but what I know for sure is that if I'm not on medication, then I can't fully be myself. Do you get what I'm saying? And my next question is, what has been the most difficult thing to deal with in a relationship? Being in a relationship with somebody who has a mental illness, and you have your own mental illness, what has been the most difficult thing to deal with?
I can say when it comes to you, the mood swings. It's difficult to kind of deal with the mood swings. Because this moment you're happy and the next moment you're sad. So like
the next moment I'm angry.
You're angry, you know. So I have to, you know, like be gentle, be more sensitive. But I know you right now. You know, I know your triggers. I know like when she's acting like this, which means she hasn't taken her meds, or maybe she's kind of like getting depressed or something. So I now know that what are your triggers? So
but the mood swings have to be
the mood swings, because now you keep on changing. You keep on changing.
And also that has to do like with the kind of medication you're on, because I know, like, I've spoken to other people who live with depression, like they've told me different kinds of medications have made them feel worse rather than getting better. And I can imagine. For me, I would have to say, like, the most difficult thing I've had to deal with in terms of you and your diagnosis is that I think the relapses, it hasn't been many, but whenever that happens for me, it was just like, oh my gosh, because your whole like character changes, and I had to get to a point of understanding that you're not doing it intentionally to hurt me, because I was not able to differentiate between the you that's on medication and the you that's like relapsing. I wasn't able to differentiate between the two. But now, having known that, having had the experience, I mean, that when he's acting like this or when this is happening, then something is not right. That has helped me be able to kind of like observe what your triggers are and see where you are. You get what I'm saying? I would have to say the relapses were the most difficult for me to deal with. And my next question is, how do you stay motivated to like keep taking your medication, to keep going forward, like knowing that, as in, I'm living with this illness and it's for the rest of my life, I have to take the medication? Because you know what, I personally, I really don't like swallowing pills. Like it's I don't know, it's for me. But how do you stay motivated?
Well, I can say it's in my morning routine, because every morning I wake up and I spend time with God. I think that brings so much, like, clarity. Like I get to realize that this is what I'm living with, and I'm grateful to God that I'm still here. I haven't lost my mind. I still function like everyone else. So prayer time, worship time, reading the word, like that keeps me motivated, and also my music, me producing, me DJing, me practicing, doing things that I love. That brings so much peace to me. That brings so much joy. And I'm able to stay motivated, and reading books. I read a chapter a day. So that keeps me like motivated,
to keep going forward.
And I also set an alarm clock for my pills, that at this time I should start taking my pills, and that keeps me going.
I would say for me, because there was a time where when I was still in denial and I hadn't accepted, like, this is what's happening with my life. There was a time when I didn't take my medication and thought, you know what, I'll be fine. I mean, I lived without this medication before. I know what I'm doing. These pills are making me feel some type of way. And then I had like a setback, and in that time I fell into like very dark and heavy depression. And for me, thinking back to that place keeps me motivated to take my medication. I don't want to go back there because it's a really dark place. So it keeps me motivated to take my medication on a daily basis. And honestly, thinking about it, I was just being a brat, because the medication, honestly, for me, it's not like a lot of pills. It's just one pill per day. But taking that one pill is like, oh my God, you get what I mean? But so the episode made me want to never ever be off medication. And the second thing I would say that keeps me going, like you said, God. You get what I mean? You need to invite God in everything that you do, especially for us, we are big believers in God. And so knowing that God is there for me and I can always turn to Him keeps me going every day. And having you motivate me. You look at you motivate me to like get up, do things. You kind of want me to get out of the rut when you see, okay, this person is not doing okay. You are not judging me or saying that, you know what, that means you're lazy, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to do this. Instead, you know, Guti, I'm going through something. So you'll say, you know what, babe, how about we take a walk? How about we do this? And yeah, that keeps me motivated to keep going, because knowing that the people around me want me to be okay, that keeps me going as well. And so like, I know now people are more like open-minded, and people are coming to terms with the fact that mental health is a real thing. Mental illnesses are real, and it hasn't always been like that, right? And I know that, you know, you shared with me before where people would say, yo, Murasi has gone crazy, he's never coming back from that, he's gone, and you know, all of those negative things that people would say to you. I mean, to a point where people were taking films of you, having, not films, like videos of you when you had an episode. You get what I'm saying? Laughing behind your back. I can't imagine that being like a joyous experience. But I want you to tell me, how did you deal with that?
Well, it was very hurtful, because now it's people you're close to, it's people you call your friends, and they are there now taking videos of you when I had the first episode, you know. But I can say what is mostly important is having support of family, you know, because my family was there. And since my mother is a nurse, she was the first one to pick it up, that no, you know what, this guy needs to go to a hospital, and they need to put him on medication, then he's gonna calm down. You know, as soon as that happened, I came down, and I was like, okay, at first it was like motivating me to kind of like prove them wrong, you know. And I was working hard. My work ethic was crazy, man. Like I was going to DJ competitions, I was going to interviews, I was out there, you know, wanting to prove them wrong, you know. But as I forgave them and I moved on with my life, I started producing from a peaceful place, you know. I was like, you know what, I gotta prove to me that, you know what, I was born to do great things. I'm not gonna settle for mediocre and say, you know what, I'm crazy and these people are right. No, I'm not crazy. I was born to do great things. I have a purpose in life, you know. So I was driven by that, you know. And I can safely say support is the biggest one.
So having that support around you helped you be able to deal with the negative voices. Well, I've never really had people say things, but I know with my mom, because she didn't understand what was happening with me. My mom would come to my room and be like, when I'm visiting home, like when this happened, I was visiting my family, and my mom came to my room and she was like, I don't know you like this, I don't know you like this, you need to wake up and put on makeup, and you know, you need to and she wanted me to just get out of it, you know, because she didn't understand what was happening with me. That was my experience. So I had to sit her down and say, you know what, babes, this is what's happening. It's not that I'm choosing to be like this, it's not a choice. It's actually an illness, and this is how we deal with it. When you say stuff like you need to get up and do this, and it doesn't motivate me. I know it's coming from a place of love, but it doesn't motivate me. It actually makes me worse. You know, I had to explain that to her. And I want to really dive into this part of the conversation. Are you able, as a person with a mental illness, are you able to do great things? Are you able to be like normal people, whatever that means? Are you able to do the things that normal people are doing? Because, I mean, some people look at like a mental illness as a penalty, as like a full stop, like your life stops here, all you're gonna do is take medication and you can't move forward. Are you able to move forward as a person from a personal experience, from your personal experience? Are you able to live a good life?
That's a good question, eh? I can say fully, 100%.
Yes.
100%. Fully. Man, I can say I'm a living testimony of that. You know, I'm a living testimony.
True.
I've achieved so many great things that even normal people don't even get to achieve. Most of them, you know. I've worked hard, guys. I've worked hard, and sometimes it's kind of like hard for me to celebrate my wins, celebrate my achievements. But lately, I've learned to know that, you know what, I'm grateful to God for giving me this capability of performing like this. You know, like I've entered DJ competitions. I won 2 DJ competitions. I won, and my music is playlisted on radio stations. I've shot music videos. You know, like I've been number 1 on many places. You know, like I've put up work out there. You know, I have a job that I'm doing exceptionally well. You know, like it's so many things, man. I can't even count. It's so many things. I'm functioning like a normal person, you know.
Yeah, you are a normal person. I think we need to get away from the term normal, because what is normal? I think normalcy is what you make of it. Like,
true.
There's no definition of a normal person and a not normal person. We're all normal. It's just that some of us are ill and some of us aren't, like, suffering from the same type of illnesses. You get what I'm saying? We are all normal. And you are able, I will say as well, you are able to live a good life. It's just that you really need to be aware of yourself. You have to have, like, self-awareness so that you don't get to push yourself to a place where you go back into a stage, or you go back into being in an episode. You get what I'm saying? But you are very much able to live a good life. You know, a mental illness is not a full stop. A mental illness is not a death sentence. A mental illness doesn't mean that you're crazy. I think people need to turn away from calling people that are living with a mental illness crazy, because we are not crazy. We are sick. And being able to take medication, go to therapy, that's a form of, like, dealing and managing our illnesses.
That's part of treatment, actually. Like seeing someone seeking help. It's important, guys, to seek help, to speak to a psychologist. That's what helped me. Like, that's part of treatment. Apart from the medication, the pills, like therapy, like speaking to someone, seeking help. That's treatment. That's powerful treatment, because these people are trained professionals. They know what they're doing. They know how to assess your problems, and it's better than speaking to someone without the experience. You know.
That's very true.
You need to seek help when you're going through such things.
Yeah. The whole point of making this video was to say that it's okay, first of all, not to be okay. And secondly, we wanted to make people aware of mental health, and also aware that, you know, living with mental illness does not have to be like the end of your life. And also to say that you can be a couple and you can both have mental illnesses and still be able to make it work. It's not easy, it's very tricky, but it is not impossible. It's really not impossible.
Just have to be self-aware. Notice when you start doing strange things. Talk to someone. Don't just keep quiet about it and let it slide. Because you're gonna relapse, or you're gonna fall into depression,
or fall into a very dark place.
So whenever you start noticing yourself doing strange things, talk to someone. Talk to someone.
Very true. And this is to just say that, you know, you're not alone, you know, and that you are meant to do great things. You are able to live a good life. You don't have to let your mental illness decide your faith or determine who you are, because you know what, psychologists don't say you have depression. They say that you're a person who is living with depression, because depression is not necessarily your identity. It's something you're living with. The core person is who you are, and I want you guys to be able to channel that person and do great things, man. And I hope this video has inspired somebody. Please talk to me in the comment section down below. Tell me what you liked about this video. Tell me anything, really. I just love talking to you guys. I love hearing from you. And yeah, that's it from Off the Talk. My name is Dumi Ramila, and today I'm with
Plastic Soul Shaker.
You'll catch me again. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you lots. Bye.